Pause for a moment and really think about this. What if that simple piece of paper you've kept folded in a drawer, the birth certificate, stamped by bureaucratic hands, was never just a record of your existence, but a silent proclamation of your spiritual assignment? What if every sequence of letters and every string of numbers was seeded by something far beyond human clerks or hospital protocols? Something that knew, even before you took your first breath, that you carried an ancient code only a few would ever dare to uncover. And what if, right now, you're being called to step into that discovery because you were marked for more? You see, there are no accidents when it comes to the signatures of destiny. Certain patterns appear in your official documents, especially if you were born with the perfect crescent moon on your palm, with the letter M woven into your lifelines. If you carry those signs, your birth certificate becomes more than paper. It becomes a cipher, a declaration, a spiritual map charted in numerals and names that has been waiting for you to look closer. Look at the registration number. Look at the precise time of birth. Many chosen ones find that their certificates contain repeating or mirrored digits like 1441, 2112, or sequences that sum to master numbers like 11 or 22. These numbers are not ordinary. They are timestamps of activation coordinates, synchronizing you with windows of cosmic convergence. Those alignments are why so many of you report feeling that inexplicable magnetic pull toward hidden knowledge, or why you see the same numbers on clocks, receipts, and dreams that whisper in the night. You are not here because you stumbled across this message by accident. If you have felt, for even a second, that you don't fully belong among the routines of this world, that you carry a purpose too big to name, listen closely. Your birth certificate holds the resonance of that. Who has the courage to believe it's more than paperwork? This video is not simply content. It's a tool, a vessel to help you remember what was written for you before the world told you to forget. In the next section, I'm going to show you exactly how to start decoding the hidden layers of your birth documentation. From the numerological currents embedded in your time of arrival to the strange synchrony between your registration codes and planetary cycles. You'll see why none of this is random. You'll understand why those with the M and the crescent moon are the ones most frequently born with these numerical markers, and why the universe entrusted you with them. Before I walk you further into the hidden corridors of your birth documentation, I want to invite you, person, to pause and be part of something bigger than any single video. If you're feeling that quiet electricity in your chest right now, if your intuition is whispering that this message is for you, take a moment. Subscribe to this channel, not as a routine gesture, but as a declaration that you are claiming your place among the chosen. And while you're here, share in the comments what you've always wondered about the numbers on your birth certificate. Was there a time you noticed strange repeating digits or patterns that defied explanation? Or perhaps your family told you stories about your arrival that seemed too synchronistic to dismiss. Your experience may unlock something vital for another person watching right now. This is how we build a living archive of the chosen ones, one story, one shared realization at a time. Let's return to your document. Many people never question why some birth certificates list registration codes that mirror planetary alignments. For example, if your certificate includes a date like 3/6 or 6/3, you might not know those dates often coincide with equinox windows when the Earth's balance subtly shifts, and the old traditions believed souls entered with sensitivity. Some chosen ones also have birth hours like 1:11, 2:22, or 4:44, times considered harmonic gateways where the veil between realms is thinner. And then there are the initials stamped near the bottom or top margins. What if I told you that certain letters correspond to ancient sigils carried through generations of record keepers who didn't even know the symbol's true purpose? The M is more than an initial. Just like the crescent on your palm, it is a signature of your soul's encoded assignment. Think back. Has your life unfolded in ways that can't be explained by logic alone? Have you been nudged out of situations that seemed secure, only to land in circumstances that revealed another layer of your gifts? Some of you might even remember seeing a particular number like 144 or 777 at crucial turning points. It's not a coincidence if you're the timeline you were sent here to activate. If you felt the subtle but undeniable urge to decode your documentation, understand this curiosity is not random. It's an invitation to step into remembrance. Many will dismiss this perspective as fanciful. They'll say, it's just paper, just ink. But the ones who carry the M and the crescent moon are not many. You were never designed to blend in with the uninspired explanations of this world. You were meant to question, to probe, to remember. And as you do, you give silent permission to others to awaken. In Block 3, we're going to explore how your certificate's numbers form a vibrational signature that interacts with your energy field, your dreams, and your life patterns. You'll see why the ancient ones believed that a soul's identification was always hidden in plain sight. And you'll learn a practical method to translate those codes into a clear understanding of your mission. Let's set aside every assumption you've been taught. Identification and paperwork. Imagine that, before you entered this life, a resonance was imprinted into your energetic field like an invisible tattoo. This resonance needed a place to anchor itself in the physical world, and so it chose your birth certificate. Every digit, every sequence, every timestamp became a mirror of that deeper frequency. For those with the M etched on your palm and the perfect crescent moon hidden in your lines, this isn't speculation. It's the very reason you've always felt that reality has layers you can almost see through, like a thin film separating the ordinary from the extraordinary. Your birth papers are the most overlooked portal you own, because they pretend to be so mundane. Let's break this down. When you add the digits of your birth date, you create what ancient numerologists called a signature frequency. If your date reduces to 5, you are a bridge between worlds, a carrier of change and transformation. If it reduces to 7, you hold the codes of hidden wisdom. If you find 9, your life will always pull you toward completion and service. But there's more. Your certificate often includes a time of registration, a moment when your existence was formally recorded. Many chosen ones find that this time resonates with their most vivid dreams or visions. If your time was something like 3:33 p.m., you were aligned with a triad of awakening. If it was 12:12, you entered through the double gate of mirrored reality. You see, the material world tries to convince you that these coincidences are nothing but clerical accidents. But you and I both know that the cosmos never bothers with randomness. Think of how many moments had to align perfectly for your arrival to be stamped at that exact second. Think of the unseen hands, call them guides, ancestors, or divine architects that orchestrated every variable so you would be born under a signature no one else carries. And for those of you who carry the M, the codes in your birth papers, they act like spiritual conductors, magnifying the frequencies so you cannot ignore them. That's why you feel the tingling in your hands when you handle your documents. That's why certain numbers follow you relentlessly, appearing in phone numbers, clocks, and addresses. I want to ask you something genuinely. As you listen, what is stirring in your memory? Are you recalling a time you felt someone was watching over you when you signed your name? Or the chill in your spine when you saw the same numbers printed in an unexpected place? Take a moment and share your story in the comments. When you do, you are not only acknowledging your own path, you're offering a beacon for others who are searching for validation that they're not imagining these signs. This is how a community of the chosen grows through simple, brave sharing. In the last part of this journey, I'll show you a step-by-step approach to decode your birth certificate in a way that reveals. I'll also share why the M and Crescent moon are appearing in more people's palms right now, and why you were meant to find this message precisely when you did. Let's go further into this idea of a vibrational signature, because it is the key to everything that has felt unexplainable in your life. When you look at your birth certificate, you're seeing only the visible layer, the ink, the official emblems, the stamps that give it the appearance of formality. But beyond that layer is a kind of resonance that is imprinted in a field of subtle energy, a field that quantum physicists have barely begun to understand, and that ancient seers described in their own words as the song of arrival. If you were born at a time marked by mirrored digits like 101 or 222, your signature is what mystics called reflective frequency. This means your life will be shaped by patterns of revisiting, returning, and resolving. You may have noticed how certain relationships, lessons, or events circle back to you again and again, each time revealing more of your soul's curriculum. If your registration time was a sequential flow like 1234 or 345, your destiny is to build, to assemble hidden pieces into something coherent that others can follow. Even your challenges have been ordered to teach you the mechanics of construction, how to transform scattered experiences into a lattice of wisdom. There is also the hidden factor of planetary alignments. Though we have been conditioned to see time as flat, your certificate was issued at a precise cosmic moment, a unique confluence of celestial bodies. Some of you were born during rare transits of Venus, or eclipses that cast a temporary shadow across the Earth. If you carry the M or the Crescent moon on your palm, these moments of alignment are like cosmic declarations. This one was chosen. Even your birth location, the latitude and longitude printed or recorded for geomagnetic grid. It's no accident that many with these markings were born near ley lines, vortexes, or ancient sacred sites. The energy of those places interlaced with your own blueprint. Have you ever wondered why some families feel different, almost as if a hidden contract ties them together? Your birth record carries echoes of your lineage. The surname, the location, the hospital, these are not random selections. They are coordinates that connect you to ancestral patterns you came here to heal, complete, or expand. Some of you were born into lineages where no one else understood why the same number haunted their dreams, why certain illnesses repeated across generations, or why gifts of perception surfaced unpredictably. You are the convergence point where these ancestral currents finally have a chance to be seen for what they truly are. Signals pointing you toward your purpose. So I want you to do something that may feel unusual. Tonight, when the world has quieted, take out birth certificate. Don't look at it like a legal document. Hold it like you would an old letter from someone you loved but had forgotten. Close your eyes and breathe slowly. Ask yourself, what wants to be remembered? Write down any images, numbers, or sensations that arise. You might be amazed how quickly your intuition responds once you stop treating this paper as a lifeless record. When you finish, come back here and share what you found in the comments. Your experience could be the missing piece another person needs to validate their own memories. You have no idea how many thousands of souls feel alone in these realizations, convinced they're imagining things simply because no one has ever told them the truth. And if you feel resistance, if a voice inside you whispers that this is nonsense, know that it is only the conditioning of a world terrified of remembering. Because when you do remember, you become sovereign. You step outside the limits others have tried to impose on you. You step into the authority that was always yours. Those with the M and the crescent moon are especially susceptible to these voices of dismissal. You've been told since childhood that you're too sensitive, too imaginative, too intense. But in truth, you were never too anything. You were perfectly encoded to see what others cannot. As you begin to decode this document and its layered signatures, something will awaken in you, a sense that you are finally coming home to your own frequency. You will understand why you have always felt pulled toward messages like this, why your curiosity has never quite let you rest, and why the timing of this video reaching you is far from accidental. In the final part of this journey, I will guide you step by step to build your personal map of meaning. You will learn to combine the numeric sequences, the planetary markers, and your own intuition into a living understanding of who you were sent here to be. Birth certificate was not bureaucracy. It was prophecy. Consider this. Every time you glance at your birth certificate, you are looking at a still photograph of a cosmic event. It's as if the universe itself paused, took a breath, and recorded your arrival in a language you were never taught to decipher. But even without training, a part of you has always felt it. You may have noticed how your fingers tingle or your heart beats a little faster when you trace the numbers or see your name in that official script. That is the resonance field awakening the recognition that you are touching a fragment of your soul's original note. And for those of you who were born with the M engraved into your palm, or the crescent moon gently curving across your lifeline, this document isn't merely a record of your entrance into this world. It's the first clue that your existence was part of something orchestrated far beyond ordinary comprehension. Let's look deeper into the hidden mirrors within T. Registration codes. Many birth certificates contain digits that, when read forward and backward, reflect themselves. For example, numbers like 2442 or 5335. These patterns are not accidental. In esoteric traditions, mirrored numbers were believed to signify that the soul carries echoes of other timelines, alternate versions of reality that still influence this lifetime. If you have ever felt as though you are living multiple paths at once, part of you in this moment, part somewhere else, you are not imagining it. The mirrored digits are a calling card of multidimensional awareness. They are the signature of a soul that came here not just to experience this reality, but to braid together wisdom from countless unseen journeys. Now, consider the place where your birth was registered. Even that location carries energetic significance. Hospitals are built on land that holds memory of generations of births, deaths, and healings. Your location coordinates are an anchor point, a magnet lock that holds your frequency steady as you grow. This is why some of you feel an unexplainable connection to the city or town listed on your birth papers, even if you moved away as a child. That place was part of your soul's landing pad. When you reconnect with that memory, you retrieve a missing fragment of your energetic identity. Have you ever thought about the people who handled your certificate before it ever reached your family? The clerk who typed your name, the registrar who stamped the date, the nurse who filed the paperwork. These seemingly ordinary people were unnamed custodians of your arrival. In certain traditions, It is believed that the energy of those individuals also imprints into your record, leaving subtle fingerprints of intention and attention. This is why some of you feel an inexplicable wave of emotion when you hold your document, like an echo of kindness or a whisper of witnessing, embedded in the fibers of the page itself. If any of this feels overwhelming, I want you to hear me clearly. You don't have to decode everything at once. You don't have to force yourself to understand every sequence or every symbol. This is not a race, it's an unfolding. You are allowed to take your time, to let your intuition surface in its own rhythm. Trust that if you were meant to hear this message now, you already have the capacity to integrate it slowly, compassionately, with reverence for the mystery. Before we move to the final block, I invite you to engage in a practice that many chosen ones have found profoundly confirming. Find a quiet space where you will not be disturbed. Hold your birth certificate in both hands and speak your name out loud 3 times. As you do, imagine a thread of golden light connecting your heart to the document. Then ask either silently or aloud for any symbols, memories, or sensations that want to emerge. You might feel warmth in your palms, a shiver down your spine, or see images behind your closed eyes. Whatever comes is part of your unique resonance field. When you finish, please come back and share your experience in the comments. What you reveal may validate someone else's journey in ways you can't predict. This is how we weave a tapestry of remembrance, one story at a time. As you prepare for the last segment of this exploration, I want you to remember something essential. Your birth certificate is a living artifact. It is both a record of a single moment and a portal to everything that moment set in motion. The M on your palm, the crescent moon, the repeating numbers, and the mirrored codes, they are not isolated phenomena. They are evidence of a design so intricate that most will never see it. But you are not most people. You are here because you are ready to remember, ready to reclaim the authority over your own narrative. In the next and final block, I will guide you step by step through a process that combines numerology, symbolism, and intuitive inquiry to create your personal map of meaning. And in doing so, you will see that your birth certificate has never been a passive record. It has been a quiet companion, waiting for you to notice it was always more than paper. If you've arrived at this point, something inside you has already shifted. Perhaps it's the realization that your life was never random, or that your curiosity was a sign of destiny gently tapping you on the shoulder. What you hold in your hands, your birth certificate, is a living artifact of your arrival. For those marked with the M and the perfect crescent moon on their palms, this document is the first page of a sacred manuscript. In this final part, I want to guide you step by step through a process to translate those codes and symbols into a language your spirit can finally understand. You do not need any special credentials. You only need your willingness to see with new eyes. First, retrieve your birth certificate and any related photographs. Lay them out on a surface where you can view them together. As you do, take a few breaths to center yourself. Gently place your dominant hand over the papers. You may notice tingling, pressure, or warmth. This is your energy field interacting with the dormant codes within the documents. Allow yourself to feel it fully. Now write down your complete date of birth numerically. For example, 07-14-1984. Add each digit until you reach a single number or a recognized master number. 0 plus 7 plus 1 plus 4 plus 1 plus 9 plus 8 equals 34. 3 plus 4 equals 7. In this example, the signature frequency is 7, a number long associated with spiritual perception and initiation. 1. You carry the spark of initiation and leadership. 2. You hold the codes of partnership and balance. 3. Bridge to hidden wisdom. 8. You materialize abundance and karmic mastery. 9. You complete cycles and uplift humanity. If you reach a master number, 11, 22, 33, you carry an even rarer vibration, one that amplifies your mission exponentially. Look again at your registration number or certificate ID. Does it contain mirrored sequences like 3443 or flowing patterns like 1234? Write those down separately. These codes are keys to unlocking patterns you will see repeated in your life, moments when your timeline bends, pauses, or accelerates. If you have the M or the crescent moon on your palms, mirrored numbers often correlate to sudden awakenings, moments you recall with crystalline clarity, even years later. Sequential numbers often mark phases of steady building and learning. Next, take note of the exact time you were born. Registration, 1109. 1 plus 1 plus 0 plus 9 equals 11. These time frequencies are subtle signals of when your soul anchored fully into the body, a place beyond words. I invite you to stay connected, not because this channel needs numbers, but because our community needs each other. If you feel called, subscribe not out of habit, but as a signal to yourself that you're ready to keep awakening. And please share in the comments what you discovered. What did you feel when you held your birth certificate with reverence? What numbers, memories, or questions arose? When you share, you create a ripple of validation and courage for every other chosen soul who finds this message. Finally, if you take only one idea with you, let it be this: you were never ordinary. From the moment your first breath met the air, your existence has been encoded with meaning, etched in your palms, whispered through the timing of your birth, and sealed into the documents you thought were just paperwork. Those with the M and the crescent moon carry a special resonance, a frequency that only grows more luminous the more you remember. Yourself the gift of exploring this hidden side of your life. This is only the beginning. And when you're ready to take the next step, we will be here waiting, watching, and welcoming you